Thank you so much for coming. I'm very, very happy to see you here. For those who still don't know me, my name is Jahnava Sundari, and I'm half Indian, half Italian. And now we will be doing this session for understanding our energy situation in according to the leadership position and for the business structure and how to understand better and how to live our situation better. So please take notes, and it will be also recorded. And in case, you can always repeat this and see how it goes. So let's start. Please, no questions in the meantime. So deactivate your audio, your microphone. And in the end, we can see if there is some time for questions as well. Let's start understanding the basic foundation, which is the energy system. Everything is made out of energy. We are made out of energy. Science is saying that we are made out of cells. And these cells are made out of particles of energies, which is positive and negative, and neutral as well. So all these energies turning around, and according to how they turn, they will create a certain type of oscillation. And this oscillation will take out a type of dynamic personality, or a very close personality, or a very neutral personality, and it will come out in emotions, in physical issues. And so everything is turning around these energies, how they are turning. So this is how we are wanting to understand the chakras, which is just the meaning is the wheel. So this wheel, how is it turning? Is it turning too fast? Is it turning too slow? Or what can happen is that it can turn both at the same time. So when it's turning too fast, I will be calling an unbalance per excess. So please remember this term. And when it's turning too slow, then I would be calling it unbalance per defect. And it's very, very possible that people can have both at the same time, which makes the personality and the situation more difficult, more interesting to understand. So let's start from the foundation. And this, for the leadership, for business, for corporates, is the most important thing, which is the first chakra. And we are talking about from down, coming from the perineal muscle. We are talking about the legs and the feet. So we are talking about the foundation and the roots. When our roots have a problem of unbalance per axis, what happens is that there is this tendency of stagnation. We feel like there is too much roots under the earth, and we don't feel that freedom of change. We don't feel that sense of security to make the leap ahead, to want to improve, or because there's fear. Fear is involved in this chakra. So there is a lot of stagnation, and we see that with businesses and corporates, or any kind of leadership that we are having, that there is a stagnant feeling because I'm not wanting to invest. I don't want to make that, I'm always oh, what if I do this? What would happen? Let me just stay in my comfort zone. So this is very much about being in the comfort zone and not going beyond it. So we understand that as leaders who have this kind of unbalance, then it will be difficult to progress in any kind of activity we want to do. When we are talking about the energy level, it's very low. So there is a lot of laziness. So imagine now you have a corporate with people, and what happens is that people are very tired. They are lazy. There is procrastination. Oh, I will do it later, because there's this very dull energy that is, grounding us so much that we are having issue to make a step or to make a change. So it's also difficult to have within our society, community, people who have that certain sort of imbalance. And also another thing is about money. And there is this kind of feeling this about the money, that we need always more. we feel there is an injustice with money. So imagine people are working for us, and what happens is, I'm not getting enough money. I wish I had more money. It's not fair. I'm not getting. So there's this like unsatisfaction about money because they feel like, oh, how will I survive? I don't have the pension yet, and I have this to pay, that to pay, and how will I survive? So there is always this fear of money, even if their bank account is full of money. So having this certain attitude within our leadership, within our corporate, will actually stagnate the whole system, because the corporate is made out of people who are making it. So the energy of the individuals will actually affect the whole system as well. But mostly the ones that are affected, like the corporate, is going to affect the everything else, especially by the leaders itself, because the leaders are the prominent people who are sending this energy to the others. And it's true that it's also true the opposite, as I said before, but mainly the ones who have more powers are the leaders. So if a leader is very powerful, is very pure, is very talented, is very balanced, he will give that energy also to the other people that are below. That's the reason why a leader should always be balanced. Either you are a mother, either you are a friend, either you have a big corporate, small corporate, or like any kind of like business. As a leader, we have to be balanced, because otherwise we are not able to inspire people. We are not able to send that energy to progress. But if the leader is super balanced, is super good and everything, and still the people that are around are very unbalanced, then that energy could stagnate the whole system as well. So that's why we have to do a work that is internal and is external. So let's see now again the first chakra, but unbalanced per defect, which means the energy is too low. When the energy is too low, what is going to happen is that the money doesn't flow. It's kind of like we have holes inside and the money comes and it just goes. So sometimes we are like investing, we are super active, we are doing a lot of things, and there is a lot of expenses. There is the roof falling apart, and there's a big debt, and there is, a lot of payment to do, and all the money that is coming is just going. It's coming and it's going. So how frustrating is that, for a leader that is like, really like running so much here and there, but because that energy is not solid, then any money that is coming is just going. And of course, this will give a sense of anxiety and fear. And also this lack of roots will make the person change a lot. So if you have like a corporate or a business, and you need to be balanced, you need to have like strong roots, strong foundation, get nourishment from this strong foundation. But with the first chakra in unbalanced per defect, there is no foundation. You feel like everything is shaking. You're working in your activity, in your business, but everything is shaking. So you are like living it with anxiety and fear. What will happen? And the competitors, oh no, they just opened the same shop right next to us, or they just did this right next to us, and now what will happen? There's a lot of fear. And of course, this energy that we have inside will be definitely reflected outside as well, creating a lot of issues. And so there's a lot of change, because no roots means a lot of change. It can be also changing place, changing the type of business we have like in mind, the model, and changing work, changing house. These are all the effects of having the first chakra unbalanced per defect. Now I want to also tell you very, very, very important thing, that if you know this, actually so many things will drastically could change in your way of like perceiving your business and activity. It really changes the energy. It's really interesting. So please do point this down, that we have chakras. Okay, I'm going to talk about mainly the 7 main chakras, only that. And as a personality, as us individuals within the business and the activity. But did you know that also the business itself, or whatever community or the activity do, also has the same identical chakras? That means that you might have all 7 chakras balanced, but if you see your business and it has the first chakra out of balance, then what happens is that the money will not come in. So it's important to fix the chakras, also about the community, the place where we are dealing with or working with. And that makes a tangible, incredible difference. Like really, things start moving. I have so much experience as a yoga studio in Italy, in Florence. You know, there is sometimes like no people, like very few people start coming. And then I'm like, what is happening here? And then I check the energy and it's like, oh my God, there is this, and this unbalance. And I fix it. And the next day, oh my God, like it's like the class is full. And it's like not me only noticing, all the teachers are noticing the same thing. And it's not like 1 time or 2 times, it's like happening so much that it just became like common sense for us to work on the energy of the place, on us first and on the energy of the place, so that like the energy just flows and it can attract abundance. So attracting abundance is related with the first chakra called Muladhara chakra. It's our foundation. If we have a good foundation, everything else can flourish really, really, really nice. Let's go now to the second chakra. And we are here in the lower abdomen, just below the belly button. Very interesting chakra. Here, we are talking about emotions. And with the second chakra in excess, there is this spending nature. You know, it's like compulsive shopping. Like women have a lot of this, you know, you give some money to a woman who has second in access, she goes to the shopping mall and she comes up with a lot of bags, you know. But if you put this in a business model, what happens is that the people are just spending and spending and spending. And also the emotions, like they don't take decisions coming from Sattva Guna. What is Sattva Guna? Sattva Guna is this mode of nature that is calm and relaxed and peaceful. Then we have the Raja Guna. This is terms that you can find in the yogic tradition, in the Bhagavad Gita. And the Raja Guna is mode of nature that is passion, is active, is fire. So when you have an excess, the modality you are taking to do something is action, fire, flame, emotion. Oh my God, I'm feeling like this. Let me take this decision. We never take a decision from that point, because in this rajas, you know, this passion nature, the result is this, going up and down, up and down, up and down, and up and down. So we don't want that in a corporate or in a business or whatever we are doing, but we want something that actually can stay, which is balanced, because only what is balanced can actually keep growing. What is unbalanced will fall down, will go up, will fall down. And let's not even talk about how much pressure and burden and anxiety it could bring to. So the emotions are like very floating. And one thing is also like about personality, I want to express this, is about the sexual energy. So there's a lot of sexual energy. And imagine like how much, you know, we see this in corporates, in the office, like people cheating on each other, cheating their partners, and the boss having an affair with, you know, the secretary. It's like such a common thing that is like happening over and over again because of this second chakra in excess. The betrayal is happening from the second in excess. So we don't want to be going to work and having this fear of how do I control my senses and avoid cheating my husband or wife? How do I do that? So if we actually control the sexual energy, we can direct it towards the proper direction, and it will be so powerful. It would be amazing, because especially this like sexual energy, like, come on, like, let's think about it. Like sexuality is creating lives, right? So if we can actually channel this energy, we can make the whole project and the community blossom in an incredible, incredible way. right? So we want to be not like using it like, we are in the office and like a seductive nature and like thinking about this, thinking about that. How much focus do we have in our work if our mind is all the time distracted? So that's the main point for the second chakra in excess. The other thing dissatisfaction is such an important element of the excess, because we have an activity, we have a corporate, we have any community, but there is this dissatisfaction. We need to learn, according to the yogic tradition, to, learn to be santosh, like content, be pacified and peaceful. That doesn't mean that we don't want to progress anymore. That means that whatever level we are first of all satisfied. We are grateful, and then only we are progressing, and we keep being satisfied and keep being grateful. That means that if something is not working well, we are not hitting a pan on our head, but rather we are peaceful and like taking one step at a time with a peaceful, natural tendency, and we are growing. Because otherwise, what is going to happen? That we are working for 20, 30, 40 years of frustration, and finally we are in our 60s and we got all the money we wanted, and we are so depleted and so discouraged and so anxious and so full of problems that we are like, what did I do with my life? Now I'm satisfied, like after 30, 40 years of work. No, let's be content from day one. Even if everything is a mess, let's be content from day one. So we want to teach this also to the people who work with us. People should be satisfied. Can you imagine people coming to work in our company and they are dissatisfied? Never. That's not what we want. With our organization, we are so much into like the building of the relationship and balancing our energies, because like this we can really be more united and give that kind of energy. And whenever we feel that that's not happening, we feel like all the turmoils of emotions and life are coming up, and we can see that it's reflecting on our clients and the whole organization we have. So it's really amazing if as leaders we can actually train other people to take that role of balance. And imagine like the boss is helping the people to give that balance, and these people are not frustrated in the work, but rather are eager to come to work. Thus they will produce so much more in the community. They will give themselves so much more, and then they go home, and instead of being frustrated with the wives or husbands and not listening to the children, they have a good family relationship. Isn't that amazing? So balance is on the first very, very important place. We have to get that kind of balance. Now, let's say the second chakra, unbalanced but defect, what will happen? This is very interesting because you will be in a state of like no feeling, no sensitivity. We are like disconnected from the body. There is this sense of emptiness inside. And so if we have that kind of feeling within our selves, we are not attractive. Even if we can be very beautiful like that, but we don't feel attractive, we don't feel worthy. There is a sense of guilt that is leading us into whatever we are doing. So this energy is very stagnant. And imagine you have this energy in the business structure. You know what will happen? That people are not going to buy from you. People are not interested in your product. You just don't, even if it's amazing. People are just like not withdrawn to you. It's just like a beautiful woman or a man. I'm sure you have seen some people are so beautiful, and you are like, there's nobody going to these people. How come? Like what's happening? Is because the second chakra is in defect, and thus the energy doesn't flow and they don't attract. And in the same way, the business model as well, the community as well, people are not attracted. They don't feel emotions. They feel a sense of emptiness when they enter into such a model. Isn't that amazing? It's interesting. So if you want to actually activate, then you are like, then let's put it in excess. Let's put some naked women, to seduce people. That's what they do in the West, which is actually very clever, but so stupid at the same time, because it's true. When you activate the second in excess by bringing half naked women, sensuality, all the different poses, then the man he's like more eager. It's like, oh, I'm attracted to that, right? So they want to buy, they want to spend. But we don't want to really manipulate people in that way, because ultimately that will lead to dissatisfaction and to emotions that are going up and down. What about if we do something to people that energetically gives them balance? They buy a product and it's actually helping the other to be satisfied with the product they buy. They don't want to, like, keep doing that. So purity is really important in our work that we do, because that is being perceived by people. If we're all the time thinking of like how to, like, make more money from the people, take out as much as possible, then people can feel that. But if we are like in a pure state, the energy will flow and abundance will for sure come into our life. Now let's come to this chakra, the third chakra, very, very important, especially for leaders. Actually, what happens here with the excess is an explosion of energy and fire, sense of control. Everything has to go my way because I decided it, and I'm very rigid in my schemes, in my thoughts, and how things should go, how things should be, and I have my idea, and it's that. Imagine having a boss like that who's very authoritative. He's like, this is it. And he comes in, very stressed and very like rigid and with a huge ego. How nice is it to work with such an ego guy? Like people are like, oh my God, I just want this day to finish. That's like, what energy is there in this structure? No, we want a good energy, beautiful energy, a boss who is actually listening also to the people, a boss who is able to keep aside his ego and understand the other's needs. And even this rigid structure, maybe that wasn't the best one. Maybe there was something that could have been better, but that is possible to understand only if we put the ego on the side and we break that pattern of control and that I'm right and I know the best, and leave space also to other people to understand, to give input. So this is very important, especially if we have like working together with other people. Like excess is really not good, because these people are very manipulative. In order to get whatever they want, they're willing to do anything. They can push forward and say, this is what I want, and I will do it. So these are very determined people, very disciplined. They get things done. They can really do that. But for what sake? It's kind of like pushing everyone on the side and, I arrived, I reached my goal. But so what, right? Are the people happy around me? So we have to think about that. If we want something that grows in long term, and at the same time, it brings in that deep sense of nourishment and satisfaction into our life as well, even as leaders, then we have to be balanced. Then we have to listen to people. Then we have to keep our ego aside and be leaders as examples. Of course, here the stress is enormous, like really, really a lot. And we know, like according to scientific research, how much like bad it is for our body to be stressed all the time. Sometimes it's okay, some adrenaline is okay, but all the time it releases some kind of like cortisols and all that will actually put our body into such deep tension that we will be starting to get sicker and sicker and sicker. So we don't want to stress the people who are there in our places. And that's why if you are leaders, and please let your people practice some breathing, from meditation, using some like really nice essential oils that like cools down immediately your system. Let them do some yoga before. And imagine they can be so much more productive, so much more attentive, so much more present. It will be amazing for them. It will be really, really amazing. And so it will benefit them. It will benefit the community of the working and the corporate, and it will increase the results of the income, because the energy that everyone is putting is more focused, is more talented, is more concentrated, and people are so happy to do it. So it's a win-win situation in every single angle of vision we can look into. Let's see what happens when the third chakra here, just right above the belly button, is unbalanced per defect. Too little energy. this creates so much issues because I give a task and I don't do it. I am like, there's something, I don't know where, from inside and out, from everywhere, that is blocking me from doing it. I know that I have to do it. And I just feel like maybe tomorrow. Oh my God. Like I'm taking my phone, I'm like, oh, I have to reply to this message. I have to do this. Oh, you know what? Maybe after. I just put it away. And of course, maybe I even forget. So procrastination is very, very, very strong in this chakra here. And what can happen is that there is low self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, how can we really achieve success? How can we like blossom and take out our potential if our low self-esteem is so low? We need to take out our potential, understand who we are, not let other people push us into the ground. We want to be strong. We want to see our talents. And as leaders, we have to understand the talents of the people and make them flourish. Because if someone is doing something that is not according to their nature, they will struggle. But well, I have to say, why did they even choose that kind of job? But as leaders, let's understand what is this person best at, and let's enroll that person into that. We have to understand their potential. So here we see a lot of tiredness. Have you ever gone to work tired? Okay, one day maybe. Okay, maybe 10 days in the past, 1 year. But what about chronic tiredness? It's a problem. And it's coming from not being able to metabolize and digest situations in life. So if something happens, someone did this to me, it stays here and it keeps like being here, and it's just like food. If you keep food in your belly for days and days, it becomes rotten, it becomes toxic, and it goes into your whole system, making it really tired and full of toxins, and thus we are tired, we are exhausted. How do you feel today? Tired. I need a coffee. Why? Oh, because I need some energy. It's so funny that, we are all like, people are all the time wanting some energizers. Why? Because they're tired. But we have to understand that if my body is saying that I'm tired, let me understand why is that so. So we need to activate this energy. It's so simple to activate the energies of the chakras. It's like with a small little practice every single day, we can like rejuvenate ourselves so much, and we will not be affected by what other people are telling us. In work, can you imagine like working and being like upset? He said that, he did that, like what kind of like energy is there in the atmosphere? We need to create a sense in our work where people come and they're happy to work there. They're really like, wow, I can't wait to go work. I love working. I love it so much. Like wherever I go in any part of the world, I have to do it. And for me, it's even hard to call it work. I almost call it like it's my free time, because I get so much nourishment from my work. I'm love it. I am happy. So if we have that kind of lifestyle where we are working and we are happy about it, we are peaceful about it, we are feeling like something amazing is happening inside, we are really happy. Our life makes sense. But if every single day we have to fight this anxiety, oh my God, I have to do it, let me just drag my body and be able to do another day just to get some money to pay for the bills, we see that the life is losing value. We are not giving the proper value and worth to ourselves. So this is the third chakra. And of course, imagine this chakra in a business. If the problem is in the business, the energy will flow so slow. Everything will be slow, very late. Everything will be late, coming late. Responsibility, sense of, it's like really, really low sense of responsibility, and a lot of tiredness. And whoever comes in the system also are tired. So the flow of energy is really dull. We don't want that. And now let's come into the heart. Beautiful, beautiful place to be, as also for corporates. And many people forget about this, because this is the center of love and relationship. If we don't, this example of like, if you take like a bamboo stick, like a small bamboo stick, and you break it, it's very easy to break. But if you take a whole bunch of bamboo sticks and you try to break it, it's really hard. Why? Because we are connected. So if I'm alone doing everything, it's so much easier to break me. But if we are all together in a form of like tangible, beautiful, loving relationship, it's really hard to break us down. This is how our communities, our work, and we as leaders should be functioning around, creating that strong heart foundation where we have empathy towards each other, where we have love towards each other, we understand each other, we are grateful to one another. If we don't have this, you will see what happens. So let's see. Access in the heart. Many corporate people love people with access in the heart chakra. Why? Because these people are the people who sacrifice themselves so much, giving. Oh, can you do this for me? Oh, yes. Can you do this? Yes. Oh, can you stay overnight? Yes. Can you take this? Yes. And then they're like, completely depleted after the whole thing, and they will not last. They will get sick actually. So let's not exploit these people, even if they are really nice. Let these people understand their boundaries. They don't understand it. They just give and give. So let them understand their boundaries, and let's not exploit these people. It's not fair. And also these people have too much empathy. That means they feel the pain of other people. Oh, this happened to her. And then they feel like crying, and they feel like, tension in the chest because of other people's pain. And it's nice, it's really nice, like, to be compassionate. But we have to understand also, like, we already have our life, which is already very intense, very demanding. We don't really need to, like, get involved so much with other people's suffering. Although giving some consultation is nice if we have some kind of qualification. Be careful. Sometimes people just want to talk, because when you have the defect in the third chakra, there's a victimism. Victimism? Like, oh, me, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. It's like a lamentation kind of like mood. So be careful. Like, we don't want to, like, we are not garbage bins, right? We're not just like, letting people to like drag us down by all the negativity they are living. So let us give timings to people. From this to this time, I'm available. Like 20 minutes, I can do that. 30 minutes, I can do that. But let's not let people, like, put us all the garbage into us, because otherwise going to work and knowing that at work there is someone who is like all the time like in that mood, it makes us really heavy. So let's learn to say no when we have to say no. This is very important. Otherwise the community will not flourish, it will not stay. Then with the heart chakra in defects, what happens is that the person is very close, is very cold, very distant, very rigid. Imagine a boss with a heart chakra in defect. It's, first of all, sorry, a boss with a heart chakra in axis is loving everyone, is loved by everyone, but sometimes he's sacrificing himself so much that the business is just like, falling apart. So we don't want that, because if we are like that, then other people can start exploiting us, and then we become, grudges holding and all that. If the leader has the heart chakra in defect, he's like cold, distant, and the person is coming, my daughter is really sick, and I really need leave because my wife is not peaceful, please help me. And the boss is like, well, you came to work here, you have to work. It's like, come on, give some empathy to people. We need that. And we have to, of course, all these things that I'm talking to you about have reasons why we have this. Don't think, oh, this is my character, this is my personality, I have been like this since ever, and that's how I am. No, it's not like that. You know what Bhagavad Gita is saying all the time? Krishna is saying to Arjuna, we are not the body, we are not this mind. So let's not identifying with these things. It's not us. These unbalances is not us. We are thinking that it's us. And we think, oh, I cannot do anything, this is my personality. But actually, if we go beyond that in a quest of understanding our real identity, we can come to that purity, to that state of balance. And this is amazing. we can really like flourish. It will be like such a journey, such a beautiful journey. So let's use that, let's like understand our real self above all this like, tension and things that we are doing, and see what happens as a reflection into our life, not only the business, but into our every single sphere of life around. So defect in the heart leads also to a sense of sadness and loneliness. Imagine like this leader finishes work and okay, good evening everyone, see you, and then goes and not organizing anything between the people, not doing anything, not creating cohesion between the team members. Oh, it's hard, no, to go and work in a place where maybe you don't even know who are there. It's really difficult. So having the heart chakra balance in a corporate is very important, because even the people, the clients, we feel like withdrawn to it. They're like, oh, I want to be part of it. I want to do that. Of course, there's many different types of corporates and all that, but it's like, I actually want to give something where people feel there is trust, there is a relationship. And trust me, like the basic power that is moving every single thing in creation is love. Yes, love is the most potent, powerful, dynamic force. And if that is there, the only way we can then come close to this love is relationship. Relationship is the best form of gaining, tinging to this like ultimate powerful source of love. And here, if we can like connect to this love, everything that comes out of us is love, is powerful, is creation, is relationship, is inspiration, is gratitude, is joy. And whenever we are selling something, it's about satisfying the person, because everyone is feeling holes inside, and we want to give something and they can feel it and be peaceful, feel the relationship, feel the connection. So whenever there is this feeling in the business, people will feel that and they will be automatically withdrawn to it, because everyone is withdrawn to love. Yes, the pure love, of course, not the ones that are kind of in the illusory state happening in relationships. Throat. Very, very important for the businesses and leaders. Oh, this is something that if a leader has it unbalanced, it can create so much mess. Let's see what happens when the throat chakra is unbalanced per excess. So too much talking. There is talking. Have you ever been in a work environment when the person starts talking and you are like praying, oh my God, let this person stop talking. I have to continue my work, and he just goes on and on and on. Or a boss that is like, okay, so you have to do this computer work, and this is like this, and this. So I tell you how to do this, okay? So you have to do this, and this, because it's very important that you do the work like this, and this. And he repeats the same thing over and over and over again. And the person is like, why is he repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? Am I stupid? Am I dull? And he's like, yeah, I understood. And even if the person says I understood, he needs to finish what he's starting. And after 20 minutes of a great loss of time, finally we can go back to work, right? It's so frustrating to be someone with like, he's talking and talking. Or have you ever been with a person that he takes 20 minutes to express a concept that you could have said in 2 minutes? Yeah. Do you know, like when you make these presentations? Oh, I love presentations. So we make presentations. And I go to the presentation and I start talking. And this stream of consciousness, what it means, like you go from one concept to the other, and eventually maybe come back to what I wanted to say, right? So what happens is that people are like trying to follow our pattern of thought and thinking wherever we are going. It's so tiring. How can we present a product if we want to make a sales or teaching or whatever we want to do? Like, how can we grab the attention of people if we talk so much? If, like we go from one thing to the other, we have to be concise and say the thing. People get my attention. My words are connected with my emotion, and thus I can express it and has an impact on us. So the way we talk is very important. So access has another dynamic, and this dynamic which will cause a lot of criticism, a lot of lamenting. Yes. So imagine going to an environment where we are like, oh, did you hear that? She's doing this and she's doing that, and the boss is doing this and the boss is doing that. Oh my God, I really cannot stand the boss, or this or that. Like this kind of attitude. I tell you something. If you criticize people, the negativity that you will put and impose on that person is so drastically effective that the energy of the person changes. And I made an experiment because I wanted to really test it. So I was doing a chakra retreat of 7 days. Normally, I teach these kind of things like in 7-day retreats. So I'm condensing everything in 1 hour, which I don't even think I will finish all the chakras, but I will try. So, but this is very important. I do want to say that. So one person, we take a person from the group. We all love the person, of course, but we ask the person to go out, and we all decided to talk bad about the person. So, she's this, she's that, oh, she did that, she did. And then after some time, I asked the person to come back, and I asked the person, close your eyes. And now slowly, slowly, slowly lift your arms up towards the sky, and then slowly, slowly, slowly lift it down. Okay, how did you feel? And then the person describes the feeling. And afterwards, I asked the person, please go back out. And then we start talking very good about the person, all the beautiful qualities, how much we loved her, and all that. I asked the person to come back in, and I said, okay, now close your eyes and lift your arms up towards the sky and slowly exhale and release down. Everything's slow and in meditation. And then I said, how did you feel? And the person said, I felt so great. Everything was light. Everything was in expansion. So I said, what was the difference between the first feeling and the second? Amazing. Everyone was blown out. They're like incredible, because if we speak bad about someone, the energy is draining the person, is pressing the person down. How can we think that a leader or any community member that we speak bad about is going to flourish, take out the potential, make us successful if we are constantly criticizing them? It's not possible. So if we, as responsible leaders, want to grow in our activity, we have to stimulate people in their growth, believe in them, guide them with proper words, not sharp cutting words. This is so important and so annoying how leaders can damage the life of so many people because of words that has not been spoken properly. So please let us use our communication really well. Imagine the whole universe is coming from the sound vibration. Yeah, this is what the yogic tradition is saying. And Om, in the mantras, because every sound vibration is creating. Science is totally proving this. So the vibration has the power of creation. We are creating with our words. So we have to really, really be conscious of how we use our words in wanting to do marketing, strategy, inspiration, whatever we want to do in the sales. Everything is about communication. So we really need this to be strong and good foundation. Throat chakra in defect. What happens? No communication. I'm not talking. There is things I should be saying, but I just don't say it. People don't really understand me. And maybe I say something, but I'm very shy. It's like, close the mouth, and people is like, what did you say? I didn't understand actually. Well, this product is really nice. It's like, oh, what? We have to be enthusiastic. Our emotions and feeling should be connected with the voice. We have to open our voice, have the courage to speak. Imagine, can you imagine, I was one of those people who would have died rather than asking for a glass of water. That's how shy I was. Now you can put me in front of like how many hundreds of people, no preparation, and talk about a topic, and I can just do it, because yeah. So why is that? Because the communication is just flowing. We just let the energy flow in a nice way. This is very, very important, not to like close down and keep everything in. A business is not going to work, because in an energy level with a business, what happens is that our product doesn't have the energy to be expressed outside, so people will not know about it. That's the problem. So if we want our business to flourish, the communication should go out in the correct, nice way, not like, oh my God, but oh wow. That's what we want from the energy of vibration from the throat to go into our business. So let's look now into this chakra here, which is the forehead. Amazing, very, very powerful. This is the mind, like in the yoga tradition, where Patanjali is saying, in the second sutra already, he's like saying, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is when the fluctuations of the mind cease to be. So all this like mind, finally it stops. And that's when we practice yoga. Yoga is not what we are doing on the mat. You can be sitting on your office, in your community, as a parent, as a leader, wherever you are, and that moment of focus, of concentration, of being present, being in meditation, doing anything that you are doing with the proper awareness, is creating that. Yes. So now let's look into the mind. So we want our mind to be focused, because wherever we are, in family or in work, we have to be in yoga. Yoga means be connected with ourselves and understand our real identity in connection with the bigger order, okay, the cosmic order, the cosmic love. It can be the divine, it can be the love, it can be nature, it can be the universe. So we want that connection. And that's the practice of yoga. And imagine you are going to work, but for you, it's like a yoga practice. You're breathing, you're calm, you're relaxed, and the energy is flowing. Your mind is powerful, your potential is released. And you feel like, I am so grateful to go to work, because the yoga practice is such a powerful practice, because like it makes you reconnect with who you are really. So this is a mind. We want our mind, because when it's in excess, there's so much turbulence, thinking so much. How can we be focused when our mind is thinking in every single direction? It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. So we want that focus, our memory, our focus, our attention, everything to be like channeled in the present moment in whatever we are doing. That's why there are some certain practices that I would love to teach you, where you can actually bring back your focus quickly, right away. Sometimes I don't have 1 hour, 15 minutes of yoga practice, asana practice. But there are some really easy, simple techniques that can be so quick. And you can use it in any time of the day, except for when driving. I don't suggest that. I have personal experience with that. But yes, just like allow these exercises to flow throughout the day and see what happens to your mind. Suddenly you are focused. Your mind is like all this like talking. It's like, ooh, there's a silence. It's so peaceful. And you can finally sleep well. Otherwise, you don't sleep well. And then you go to work exhausted. And then the mind is keeping on, and the next day is the same. How long can we handle that? Let's be merciful and compassionate to ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. Otherwise, money is not so important as our health and our happiness, our true identity and understanding who we are. So let's focus into understanding who we are and bring that into our work and see the magic happening. Let's go into the sixth chakra, unbalanced spirit defect. So what happens here is that the mind is just really dull. Like, have you ever had this experience of like taking the phone in your hand and then 2 hours later, I'm still like, Instagram, YouTube and videos and like being there, like, you do see this on the work. It's like, what are you doing? The mind needs a break. I need a break. I am like freaking out. I'm so exhausted. I'm so numb that the only thing I want to do when I go back home is like watch a movie or just like blank out. It's such a disaster for our mind. We sleep bad. We wake up bad. We are producing well for our company. No way. There's nothing like that happening. So we want to help our people to be mentally peaceful and happy so that when they go back home, they're not like a zombie. They're actually peaceful. They don't need to like space out on the phone, but rather they can actually spend some nice quality time with themselves or with the family or whatever they have to do. So with this very important chakra, listen what is going to happen when there is a problem with the activity, when there is a problem with the sixth chakra in defect. It gives a feeling of a cloudy future. How do you see yourself in the future? Cloudy. Not sure. I'm not sure. So it's kind of like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what is happening. Imagine having like a business is like, oh, I don't know what is going to happen next. I'm not sure. Let's just like be in the moment and see what happens. Actually, it's so important to have our vision clear. Because if we have that clear, we can give our full self into the present immediately. And it's so important. Our mind has such a power. Oh my God, it's so powerful. If we could just use it, like for instance, now, not now, but since sometime I learned to balance the chakras with the mind, I can just like close my eyes and with the mind, like, think. And that just like, balances the energy. And it's amazing to see that. And we all can do it, but we're not using our mental power. And then we see someone doing and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. We are all amazing. We just need a constant daily practice that will help to activate our mind. And if we want to bring success into our corporate or any lifetime with the mind, we can direct it. This is the power of intention. But sometimes the power of intention is not enough because we are weak. So as much intention we put, nothing is happening. So we need to strengthen our power in the mind, in our structure, so that when we think about something, it goes. But know that the good and the bad is going in that way. And that's why there is a need of a practice that is purifying us and helping us to be better people. Let's go into the seventh chakra. So we are in the final. I have 3 minutes left. I'm so proud of myself. I think this is the first time in my whole life that I'm able to speak about all of them in 1 hour. So in the seventh chakra, we are here. And this is so important because this is actually the chakra of positivity, wisdom, and connection with the most highest powerful source, which is God, divine, universe, call it however you like, it doesn't matter. So what happens here is that there is an energy of mercy flowing through it. If this is unbalanced, forget about it. You will feel drained, you will feel exhausted, not tired, exhausted. You feel like every single thing you need to do is like climbing a huge mountain. It's so difficult, really difficult. And working in such a way, you feel like every day you are dragging your dead body into work. Literally, it's almost like that. So it's really hard. Imagine like how much productivity is there. And there's like this like huge amount of negativity. Everything negative, they can feel it, they absorb it. And it goes up to the point where it can lead to a mental sickness. With COVID time, let's not even talk about how many people had this unbalance. There was so much negativity and people were like really absorbing this negativity and not being able to digest it, creating a lot of issues in the mental level. So in a business, we want beautiful, positive, wise energy to be flowing in. And trust me, doesn't matter which background, but a spiritual practice is so important because we are spiritual beings. We, like we as souls, as Atman, We are souls, and the soul is spiritual. And if we want to reconnect with our true identity, we have to understand this spirituality. How do we do that? With the spiritual practice. This is the same energy. With the spiritual energy, we awaken our spiritual nature, flourishing our potential. Everything is inside our soul. Everything. You know, Socrates, the Greek philosopher, he was saying the knowledge is within us. We just have to deliver it. You know, like giving birth to a baby, delivering in that way. It's like giving birth to the knowledge. It's such a heavy process, such a painful process. But all the knowledge is inside us. But we have to understand who we are. And it's a process of cleansing, of transformation, of understanding, of daily commitment to understanding this process. Let's do it and see what will happen in the life, and see what happens in your business, in your activity, you as a leader, and to the community. So I finished the presentation, and I would like to tell you that all this will be developed in a course that we want to bring for you to do, like, you know, presentations where we are training you to actually find that balance. Imagine your life where you can actually find that balance. And I can teach you how to, like, you know, program your business energetically to bring that sense of balance. Not only to yourself or to the community members, but also to the structure itself. And we can do, like, you know, some kind of retreats where we learn to understand ourselves, take out the blockages and limitations that we have, and to reach out to our potential. And all that, if we put into the proper place, anything or anywhere we do, it will bring a lot of success and a lot of peace of mind and happiness. So that's my mission. I'm doing that in Italy. Now I'm doing it also in India. And I'm so happy to, like, present this to you. So thank you so much. And of course, if you want to be updated with this, you can always write to me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Siddha. It's SIDDHA, Siddha Yogini, YOGINI. So we will also write it in the box. So this is my new Instagram account. I opened it only for the English speaking people. Otherwise, my yoga school is called Chintamani Yoga. I will write that also in the message in the chat box. Chintamani Yoga. So that's my yoga school that I have in Italy. You can also do that. And I recorded this, so you can feel free to share this with whoever you like. I'm happy if other people can also get this knowledge and improve their lives with this. And we will definitely keep you updated with this. So we will stop it here. And I will also stop the recording. And if you have a few questions, or let me ask